Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Campton Racing TV. Looking back at our runners last week, we actually had a bit of a quiet week runner-wise, so we don't have too many to look at. Last Saturday we had we had Silver Warrior go around at Toowoomba in a maiden, and he ran second there.
Yeah, he was good. Probably thought he could have won the race. Unfortunately, when I got up there and met a curry horse that was really, really good. So he was good. He still ran on. He probably peaked on his run, probably with 100 to go. Probably still could have won the race, but he just sort of, as I said, peaked on the run. Also, there was a horse that had a miss up in the race, and he sort of had to come back with him a bit. The curry horse got up his inside and kicked away and got a bit of an edge on us, but it was good to see him keep attacking the line. He also lost a shoe in the race. He had another excuse, and he's pulled up great after the run.
Yeah, perfect. And where does he go to next?
There's a 15 or a 14, maybe one at Ballina, and there's also might have something in mind at the Sunny Coast as well. So just sort of playing it by ear, see how he gets through the end of this week. He'll do a bit of three-quarter at the end of the week, and he seems like he's pulled up great, and he looks incredibly well.
Then we had Charge On go around on Wednesday at Doomben, and he ran second. The tempo of the race was probably ended up just being a bit slow for where he was in the run.
Yep, no, he did. He was enormous. The rail was out. He had to opt to go back that little bit further as one kicked up the inside, but that wasn't Elion's fault at all. I was really, really happy the way the horse attacked the line. It was a massive run considering what he had to do. Ran on, charged on, and he showed now that he's definitely able to step up in trip and go to either, I think he can run a mile. He might be a nice country cups horse next preparation, but I just want to see how he is over the next few days. He's had a massive preparation. He's as tough as nails, but that doesn't mean he can just keep running them every couple of weeks. But he's recovered really well. Even after the race, he barely had a blow, even though after having a really tough run. So he's a tough animal. He's definitely becoming one of our stable favourites. He just shows up, does his job, and he pays the bills. He's a good horse.
I think he's won two and ran third.
Yeah, seventh.
Ran second twice.
Seventh, second, first, fourth, second, first, second. So Elion's had a good association with him, and he has had a bit of bad luck in a few runs. Drew wide, he got caught in town on Saturday, and then we were going up to Sunny Coast on the Saturday race, and he got scratched before the race, and then recently he was going to the Saturday again and had a little miss up on the float. So he's had it all happen to him in this preparation, and for him to continue to do what he's done and try his little guts out, he's done really well.
Yeah, for sure. It helps to have a tough horse.
Yeah, it's when now training horses.
Long way.
Yeah. I used to look back when I was younger and look at these flashy horses that get to the races once a month, but you want these bread and butter horses that show up every week and just continue to do their job, and he's definitely that.
And looking forward to our runners this weekend. We've got a few going around at Eagle Farm on Saturday. Lord Markle goes to 1400.
Yeah, Lordy had a good trial last week. Keep him ticking over. It would have been a month between runs. Great trial. Tough as nails. Another horse like Charge. He just continues to show up and do his job. I wish the rain was staying around for him because that's what he's crying out for. I've opted to take the blinkers off. I think it will help him that little bit, find that extra length or two. Hopefully it does. He's gone up big odds. I think he can run a great race. He's in fine fettle here around the stable. He's feeling well. He looks good. He's got dapples all over him. And third up, he should be really hard to beat. It is a tough race, but he's a tough horse. And I know one thing: if they don't show up, he definitely will.
And you've got Jaden Lloyd on, so you're claiming 1.5. So we'll go around with 56.
Yeah, that'll definitely help him. If there can be some sort of weather gods with a bit of rain early in the morning, it'd be perfect. But it's good to see Jaden on. His brother Zach obviously had a good association with the horse. He gave us our first winner, and I think Jaden will suit him. He's a strong rider, and not too much worries Jaden, which will be good for Lordy.
And then in a benchmark 78 1200, we've got Lighter Boom and Beauty Legacy. They've obviously found themselves in a bit of a tough race on Saturday with some Sydney horses coming up. Yeah,
very tough. But they've still got to travel up here. We're lucky we don't have to travel. It's up to them to get up here and show up in. They have to show up and do their job. Where we're only an hour down the road and we have to just take the float there. That can go wrong sometimes, as we know. But Lighter Boom, he's actually quickly become one of my favourite horses around the stable. He had a little pick with me this morning. He's glowing in his coat. He's gone up massive odds. He's drawn one, and yes, it's a tough race, but I know one thing about him: he will show up and he'll give his all. I think he'll run a big race. The jury's out if he can win it, as it is such a tough race. But if others have a little setback, he'll be the one finding the line strongly. He was really good last start, and he's another one. If there's a bit of rain around, he will love it. And Beauty Legacy, obviously a horse I'm probably most excited about in our stable.
Probably to clarify for people, they might be a bit confused. So he trialled as Hawkshot, but obviously will race as Beauty Legacy on the weekend. So he once raced in Australia under Hawkshot, went to Hong Kong and was named Beauty Legacy. And now that he's back, we've had to contact the stud book and get his name changed again to Beauty Legacy. So he will be Beauty Legacy from now on.
Correct. You're right. He trialled as Hawkshot and back to Beauty Legacy now for the Quox horses who are all named something Beauty something. I don't know how good this horse could be. I think he's pretty special. He does everything he shows us here at home. His track work, his trials, his jump outs, it's all been so easy for him. He's a big, imposing beast. He's got a lot of presence about him. He's a beautiful, flashy, dark horse. 59.5 first up, wide barrier. He might not go around. I'm just going to wait and see if others come out of the race. If not, there's another race next week for him, or we might trial him again on Tuesday and aim to go to another race in a couple of weeks' time. I don't really want to give him a gut buster first up, but I know how good he is. He could come across the wide barrier. In saying that's probably not the worst thing. He's such a big horse, might give him room to jump out, get across the fence.
Because he's a front-running horse.
Yeah, he is. He's a front-running horse. He can be very keen. But Shannon, who rides him every morning, has done a great job with him, and Jag, who tried him, did a great job, and so that's why Jag keeps a ride. I just don't know how good he could be. Hopefully we see him back to his best, where he's got that form. He's seventh. I'm going through it like seventh in Day Stakes, and he went fourth behind Poised to Strike, second in Sandown, then he went first at Sandown, then he just continued through his gears. He's ran an All-Star Mile, he ran in the Guineas, placed in the Guineas. He's got incredible form. And I do know those jockeys used to ride back in the day had a big opinion of him. So it's up to him now to prove that he still can do it. I think he can, and let's hope he can. He's been slapped with a 79.5 rating, which is a little bit tough for him. But if he's as good as we think he might be, he should handle that.
And then on Sunday we go to the sunny coast with a couple of maideners. The first one's Lord Vader over the 1,000 in a cutest 3-year-old race, and he's drawn barrier 6. Yeah,
Lord Vader, he's been a great acquisition to the stable. Trialled really good the other day. Carl's done a great job on him, so he keeps the ride. Drawn barrier 6, a little bit tricky, but hopefully they go real fast and he can sit in behind them. I think that's the way I really want to ride this horse. He does look like a little revvy little horse around the stables. Even at the track, he just wants to get out there and do his job, but he's come on since that trial. I reckon he'll run a big race. If he doesn't run a big race, I'll be shocked, because his work and his trials have been great.
And then Marley Doon, she's in a 1,000 maiden as well.
Yep, City of the Small. I love this horse. She's a beauty. I really enjoy watching her track work. She's real relaxed, and then once she asks the go button, she's like a good car. She picks up very quickly. Barrier 2 is perfect. 1,000 metres obviously short of her best, but I like doing this with horses. Teaching her to run on strongly where I think she will. I go real hard and she'll just cruise in behind them, and hopefully her split comes late and she will be too good for him, I reckon. Her work this morning was very good. Her trial was great. I think I've realised with her, she's a horse that you just can't get into the front too soon. So good luck, Carl. It'll all be left up to you.
And then over the last few days, you've been over at the Magic Millions cutest sales. We got one, a Jungle Cat colt.
Yeah, love this little fella. Walked out of his box with plenty of presence. He thought he was dead set 8 foot tall. Real strong, solid, real running type, and a very tough family. Half to King Klaus, who, what he's done. He's showed up every week for a long time in sprint races here in Queensland. I think he ended up winning 12 races. So for any horse to win 12 and have a brother like that, it's a tough family. Even another trainer came up to me and said he used to train another one of their horses, and went out of the same family, and he was a tough horse as well. I noticed there's something about this horse. I've had nothing ever to do with any Jungle Cat. It's progeny, so
They're just 2-year-olds now, though, so you're not going to really see what they're like.
Correct. Yeah, you won't really know.
For the next 6 months.
I think he looked like a tough horse. He's a little solid bugger, and there is shares available. We teamed up with Mr. Racing, cooking the boys for a long time, and it was good to have a horse in our barn for them. So there is limited shares available if anyone wants to join in. It'll be good fun. They're good fun blokes, and I like this little horse. I think there's something about him.
And then another thing, obviously being a QTIS sale, the colt is QTIS registered, which in Queensland is massive.
Massive.
The bonuses are everywhere.
Yeah, we want to target all those bonus races. It's too good to be true these days. It's QTIS is outstanding, and you get so many clients ringing and saying, "Do you have any QTIS horses available, or are you going to buy any QTIS horses?" Of course, it's our backyard, and they're the races we want to target. So, never know, you might be one of the king of the mountain horses in a year or two's time.
That's the recap for this weekend's runners. What's your best bet?
I think you could tell it's probably going to be Marley Doon. I think if she can sit in behind him, as I said, cruise. It's going to take a good, smart ride, but Carl's a good, smart rider. He's got great hands. He's done a lot of work on this mare. I'm excited to see her around. She's a beautiful, sweet horse around the stables. And
you wouldn't even know that she's here.
No, you wouldn't.
So well behaved.
She's got a bit of sass about her, but at the trials the other day, so I reckon on game day she'll know she's ready to go. And her work has been good enough. That trial she's picked up a fair bit. I reckon she'll be hitting the line very strongly late.
Yeah. And thanks so much for all of your feedback on the little interviews that Adam did with the staff last week. He had lots of fun doing that, so we've actually got a couple more for you guys to see.
My next guest is my number one apprentice, Yvette Lewis. Vetty, how long have you been with Campton Racing now for?
July 2022.
You loving your time here?
Yeah, it's been good. It's good.
Tell us about where you're originally from.
Born.
Yep.
A little town called Inverell.
How'd you get into horse racing?
My mum was a jockey and trained for a bit on our property, and she sort of gave up when I was about 9 because we were competing and it was just too hard, and that sort of got the dream going for being a jockey. So yeah, here I am. You've
been on fire lately. You've had a little bit of a suspension to set things back, but you'll be back bigger and better in a couple of weeks' time. How you feel like you've been going lately?
Yeah, good. Like, it's the first one in 18 months, so I think a little break's it's not too bad, but it'll be good when I come back. I got a couple rides on Sunday, which is nice, but chipping away, so that's good, and getting plenty of support, which is good.
One thing I do know about you work your backside off and you show up every morning. I know I'm not very tall, but you are a tall jockey. Tell us a bit about Vet Lewis's diet throughout the week.
Most days probably consist of not eating at all, but no, just sort of healthy, like a lot of fruit, salmon, chicken, obviously not too big of a portions, but it's all right.
One day you told me your cheat meal was a 6-inch Subway with some ham, carrot and cucumber on it. Our cheat meals are obviously a little bit different.
Yeah, they are. Most people probably think cheat meal is burgers and fries and that, but no, it's all right, and it helps with hot weather up here to sweat, so it's good.
Who's your favourite horse at Campton Racing?
Maybe Know-It-All Jack.
Yeah, she does have a soft spot for Know-It-All Jack. And why do you love working at Campton Racing?
It's a good environment, good people to work with, and there's some nice horses here to ride, so that's good.
Keep your eye on Yvette Lewis. She's will be riding plenty of winners over the next few months. We've got 2 questions for you. I saw you trying to... Yeah, he's trying to dodge me. He's trying to dodge me. Here, Johnny, come here 1 second. We just want to ask you how you got into... Yeah, all right. My next man on the mic is Johnny, who's only been working now for a few months, but he's a machine, does not stop. Johnny, what got you into horse racing?
I'd always had an interest in horse racing, but back in New Zealand in 1992 I approached New Zealand Thoroughbred Racing to design a course for school leavers with the focus of getting them into being apprentice jockeys riding horses. So I've been involved in training people in the industry, ran that for about 17, 18 years, left to go overseas and found myself in Australia. And I've got a couple of my own horses here, and very kindly Mr. Campton offered me a couple of stables and a job, and continued my association learning there.
He's been a blessing to have around the stables. He's a man of a few words, but he's a very good worker, and he's an incredible horseman. Who's your favourite horse here at not obviously apart from yours, at Campton Racing?
Probably the young 2-year-old colt out of La Remlap. Like him, I think he's got potential.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. He'll be named in a couple of weeks' time, be off to the trials. And what do you like about working at Campton Racing?
Very laid back. The bosses are very good to work for, very good communicators, and they listen to us.
I'll pay him later. Thanks, guys.